Hey guys, how's it going, and welcome to a new video. So today's update brought a expansion to the construction skill. There are 2 new rooms in the POH and also a very handy tool called the house viewer, where you can reorganize your house, rotate rooms, move them upstairs and downstairs, all sorts of different stuff without having to delete them, which is fantastic. So the 2 new rooms that came out are called Superior Garden and Achievement Gallery, and they have both cosmetic things and some fairly useful things as well. So I'm going to take you guys through my own POH and show you the things that I've built today. I haven't filled up every single hotspot. I've mostly just built things that are actually useful for now. Sometime in the future, far down the line, I might splurge a lot of money and build a really fancy POH, but for now I'm just going for the basics of what's useful and keeping it close to my portal and keeping the house fairly simple. Alright, so heading into my house, I'm going to show this in building mode just so you guys can see what all the possible hotspots are, because I don't have something built everywhere. So this is the first room. This is called the Superior Garden. And in this room, the 2 actual useful fixtures are the Spirit Tree / Fairy Ring and the Rejuvenation Pool. For the Spirit Tree / Fairy Ring hotspot, you can build either a Spirit Tree, a Fairy Ring, or both. You need 75 construction to build a Spirit Tree, 85 for a Fairy Ring, and 95 to have to have a Spiritual Fairy Tree, as they call it. In this hotspot, you can build a whole bunch of different types of Rejuvenation Pools. The lowest level one is level 65. Well, actually, they have different names. The highest level one is called the Ornate Rejuvenation Pool. But basically, as you upgrade it, you have to build each one and upgrade through all the different tiers. It will have more useful effects. So it starts off with just healing you, I believe, and then it goes to restoring run energy, then prayer points, then boosting your, restoring all of your stats if they're drained, and then finally healing poison damage and restoring spec and everything like that. So quite good. Basically, this thing restores everything that can be drained on your account. As far as I can think of, it will restore drained stats, it will heal poison, it will heal hit points, which I guess is a drained stat, it will restore spec, and I believe it won't bring down boosted stats, which is kind of nice. That alone makes it better than the Clan Wars portal, and the fact that it restores spec makes it better than using the Narda Shrine, which makes the Narda Shrine kind of dead content, which is unfortunate. I wish they would have made it so that it required Desert Amulet 4 to build, just to keep that content relevant, but I guess it's not a huge deal. The fact that it restores spec is also kind of a big deal. It makes restoring spec faster after each kill of things like Corp. Quite a bit faster than doing Nightmare Zone or whatever other people, I think Dual Arena or Nightmare Zone, I'm not sure which one was faster before to restore spec, but this is definitely significantly faster, which is pretty cool. Other than that, in the Superior Garden you can build a few different themes, either the Zen theme, Otherworldly theme, or Volcanic theme. The Volcanic theme requires 6 onyxes to build, which is fairly expensive. I haven't built any of those yet because they're just cosmetic, and then you can also build a topiary, which you can cut into different shapes. I guess that's pretty cheap, so maybe I should build it. And you can build benches, one of which does require an onyx also, or yeah, 1 onyx and 3 mower blocks, yeah. Expensive, haven't bothered to do that. And you can build fences also. There is finally another use for redwood logs other than just fire making game. Actually, you can also cut them into arrow shafts as of today. But they did an obsidian fence, which actually is made out of the magic staffs from Tazar, and also mauls. And I guess those are the throwing ring things for ranged, so that's going to be fairly expensive. I think the staves are going for like 700k right now, so that's probably going to be upwards of like 8 mil, including all the stuff to build. So it looks kind of cool, but I probably won't build it. But I guess it brings another use for the magic staffs and makes them a bit more expensive. So that is the Superior Garden. The Fairy Ring and stuff is useful, and especially the healing pool is very, very useful. It will basically replace the Narda Shrine for people who have the level to make the higher level ones. And the next room is the Achievement Gallery, and the notable fixture in the Achievement Gallery is the altar. You can build an altar for any one of the spellbooks to switch between them, or you can build an altar where you can switch to any spellbook from any spellbook, which is really useful. It means you don't have to use like Lunar Isle teleports if you're not on Lunars to get there quickly and spend a bunch of money, and it saves a lot of time versus like going over to the Ancient Altar and stuff like that. So I am happy with this. It's pretty nice. You need 80 construction to build any individual altar, and you need level 90 to build the Occult Altar, or Altar of the Occult, where you can switch between all of them. Keep in mind, anything that you can build with a Crystal Saw can be boosted. Like the Crystal Saw provides a boost, and you can boost your construction with the Spicy Stew. and those stack, and anything that doesn't require a saw, you can still use a spicy stew boost, so you can boost your construction a lot to be able to build a lot of these things at like noticeably lower levels. But you can boost your construction as high as +8 if you stack a crystal saw with a spicy stew, and you can easily boost it +6 if you use one of the T's like that boost +3 and then +3 from the saw. So you can easily build this at 84, and if you feel like putting in the effort to get a stew, you can build it at 82. So not too bad, and this might be the most, well, I'd say probably the rejuvenation pool is the most useful thing, and you can also build that at, what was that? It's level 90 for the highest level one. So yeah, you can also build the highest level one at level 82 if you get the boost. So that's not too bad for how useful it is. 82 construction won't cost a terrible amount of money, maybe like 20 mil or so. And then the rest of the stuff in here is, well, actually not completely cosmetic. The jewelry box space, I haven't built anything here yet, but you can have every single possible jewelry teleport in your house now if you build the highest level one, I believe. I might do that, but I don't really see myself using it, so I'm not sure if I'm going to bother yet, because it's still easier to just use them from my bank. But that's pretty cool. If you do have it built and open up the interface, you have like this crazy long list of different teleports you can do. You can also build a display case, or is that a display space over here. You can either mount an emblem from Bounty Hunter, you can mount coins, which is 100 mil. Yeah, be interesting to see if anybody actually builds that. And you can also mount a cape, so I could mount my max cape or something like that. Once again, just cosmetics, so I'm not sure if I'll bother, but it looks pretty cool and you do have it mounted. But yeah, it costs marble block and gold leaf, which is like 500k, so a little bit pricey, and also you have to put your cape in there. So if I was to put a max cape in there, I'd have to buy another one, and that's like 2.3 mil, so yeah, not sure if I want to waste that money quite yet. You can also build a quest list where it just shows all of the quests you have completed, so that's kind of cool. And this one I really like. I like how you can show off all sorts of different stuff. This is called the adventure log. And let me zoom in. The asset of this looks really cool also. It's a gigantic book and everything. Big shout out to Mod West. I believe he did most of the graphical assets for this update, and they look amazing. So yeah, big props to him. So with this, you can show off your Slayer kill count log. You can show off your boss kill count log, so everybody can see. And you can show off your champion scroll kills, like all the different champions you've killed. So I like that. It gives a little bit more relevance to completionist content. And I didn't even notice you have an animated chat head for Leon Decor. Interesting. And also, you can show off various other counters. So your duel arena wins and losses. I guess I'm unlucky. Last man standing ranking, which I have done none of yet. Treasure trails. This is cool actually, because the only other way to see these before was to go all the way over to the observatory, which is annoying to get to. So yeah, this is how many treasure trails I've done on this account. Bit of a pleb, or maybe not. And this is pretty cool too. You can show off your chompy bird kills. So slightly more incentive to go for the kill cap, which is 100k. Maybe sometime I'll do that. Would be interesting to see whether it says 100k on here or whether it says lots. But yeah, I kind of like that. There might be some other counters in game though that could be shown here. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but I feel like this isn't a lot of stuff, but still I really like how this works out. Being able to show all those different kill counts definitively is pretty cool. And the final thing in here is the display, where you can build a display case and then you can use different jars on it to have different displays. Right now I have the ones that I had in my bank, so these are the ones that I've gotten as actual drops, I think. Actually, I don't know if I got the Zora one. But yeah, I've gotten Jar of Dirt and Jar of Souls at least once. And so you can have a different little graphical display for each one. They look really cool. I think Cerberus might be my favorite one. It looks, yeah, just looks sick. And I'll show you guys the other ones that I have. This is the Zora one. Looks pretty nice. Imagine if you could change the color of the snake, but I think grasping at straws there. And here is the Kraken one. That one also looks quite cool. Definitely a big fan of that. If you want to see the rest of them, you can check out the Q&A stream that they did yesterday. Or not the Q&A stream, the community stream or whatever it's called that they did yesterday. They showed off all the different ones. I think the Abyssal Sire one looks really cool also, and the Calphate Queen. Skodazo one's a little bit basic, but it will also be by far the most prestigious one because the Jar of Darkness is extremely rare and has been sold for like 100 mil or so in the past. So that one will be pretty interesting. if anybody actually has all of these, they would have spent a fair bit of money. So that is what the 2 new rooms have to offer. Pretty cool content, and no bugs or terrible things discovered so far. So props to Jagex for a solid update. I'm pretty happy with it. One interesting thing to note is that there are now a few new ways to get to your POH also, not just leave from your POH, namely the fairy ring and the spirit tree. So they didn't actually release the fairy ring code, but I discovered it on the first attempt because they said it was something about it being something that a Twitch chat would laugh at. So I tried DIQ, and yeah, it worked. So if you do have a fairy ring built in your house, then DIQ is the code to get there, and you can also use your spirit tree to go anywhere else, and then you can, from any other spirit tree of course, travel to your house, which is pretty cool. So now the total ways to get to your house are teleporting, using the portal, using the fairy ring, or using spirit trees. So quite a lot of options. So one other thing to quickly look at is how to organize your house so that things are like optimal for whatever you're doing. So now that you have the handy POH viewer tool, which you have to be in building mode to be able to use, you can move around your rooms in your house and also rotate them without destroying them, which is lovely. So I mentioned in one of my previous videos when I made a video about POHs that since you always spawn on this tile when you teleport in, like on the north side of your portal, actually it's this tile right here, you want to have whatever you're like running to consistently in your house, like close on the northern side, in the northern, like to the north of your portal, just so you can get there like a couple ticks faster or whatever. You may as well if you're doing something like prayer especially, or even if you're just doing corp and going to your house after each kill. Save a little bit of time and may as well put it in the right place. So right now I have the room rotated so that it's far away. So what I should be able to do is take this room and rotate it, I guess just around twice or maybe once. Let's see if this puts it in the right place. Actually, it's hard to tell just all right. So yeah, I think that would be the best that it can get. So from here it would be 1, 2, is it just 2 ticks to run to it? Let's see. 1, 2, yeah, I think it is just 2 ticks to run to it. So yeah, this would be the closest place you could put it. I guess you could probably have it rotated so that it's over here too, because yeah, that is also 2 ticks I believe, so either one is fine. But yeah, that saves you like 2 ticks versus running to the other side of the room, so kind of convenient. And you know, if you want to start training prayer, then what you would do is take, I have my chapel down here right now just to put it out of the way, so you'd move your superior garden out of the way first. You can only move 1 room per thing, but it's still a lot easier than the way it was before. So now move this up here. And just like that, now I have my altar very close. I do regret destroying my my old gilded altar, because if I'd waited till now, I could have just moved it without having to destroy it. But yeah, I haven't done any prayer training in a while, and in my last POH video, I did destroy my altar in order to move my chapel to a better location, and I haven't gotten around to building another gilded altar, so rip to that. But yeah, it's really nice because now you can move things around at will to suit whatever you're actually doing. So if all you're really doing is just changing spellbooks, then you could also move your altar or your achievement gallery up to here to be a little bit closer. One thing I wanted to test is whether using your POH fairy ring or the quest cape teleport to a fairy ring is closer to get to a fairy ring faster. And as you can see, nice and side by side here, the quest cape is still slightly faster than the POH, so it's not going to be like replacing that for rune crafting. You'd have to have an extra inventory space taken up anyways if you're using your POH. But if you don't have the quest cape, then it definitely is faster than using a Slayer ring, which would be the next closest teleport. So that's something to keep in mind. It's still pretty useful. One thing that I was curious about and wanted to test after I saw the stream that they did yesterday showing off this stuff is a possible really overpowered training method using another account and your rejuvenation pool in a PvP world, since you can attack players anywhere in your house on a PvP world, and you can restore your spec by drinking from the pool, so you could continuously use specs if it worked. But luckily they had the foresight to make it so that you can't drink from the pool during combat, and it has the same delay as like the PJ timer, so it's upwards of like 10 seconds or something. So not a viable method, but it's something that was worth testing. But yeah, I'm glad that they didn't make it so that this works because it probably would have been like over 200k an hour melee XP, and if you're using a Dragon 2H spec with a bunch of other accounts around you, it could have been insane XP. So yeah, I doubt that this will be turned into any kind of training method. I mean, if you could use D2H specs, it might actually be better XP, even attacking really slowly and restoring, but it would take a lot of other accounts to make that work out, and it would be pretty complicated. But yeah, another little thing I wanted to try. Doesn't work. Luckily, Nightmare Zone is still the melee XP meta. So that's all I've got to show for today's update. It's some pretty cool stuff, and quite happy with the update. It came out really nicely, and it's some content that I've been looking forward to for a while. So thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys all later.